You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What is going down? This is Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Guys, let me just apologize in advance right now. I am sick as fuck. Excuse my language, but man, I am fucked up. I have the flu. I am sick, man. My body's aching. I'm done. But with all that being said, I had to get this podcast out to you guys because I care about my listeners, man. I mean, I'm dedicated to my listeners. I love my listeners. And, unless I'm damn near going to die, I'm going to do a podcast, man, when I'm supposed to, and talk about things that, I love talking about and I know that you want me to talk about. So that's why I'm here with the flu in the man cave. Give you a brief description of the man cave right now. There's a shitload of tissue just all over my desk. I have cough drops. I have vitamin C drops and, coffee cups with, half drunken Theraflu and all this crazy shit, man. So I'm just trying to hold it down, guys. It's been a hellacious couple of days, and I'm just trying to kick this as fast as I can. But I just wanted to, apologize in advance because you'll probably hear, a lot of sneezing, a lot of, strange noises from, being sick. But just bear with me, guys. We're going to get through this podcast, and hopefully next week it'll be a lot better. All right, guys. What I want to talk about today is a few things. Of course, if you guys do not know, there has been a video game awards that just took place recently. I'm going to announce a couple of categories that I was looking at and looking out for. Some games that caught my attention, and going to brush on some things that I experienced this past week is with Red Dead Redemption, the online mode they have, and yeah, man, and then some other news in the figure realm, if you will. Let's see, where should I even start? Okay, let's start with SH Figuarts. If you guys aren't familiar with this company, if you're a collector of anything anime, they don't just do anime. They do, they do a lot of different stuff, but they make a lot of highly detailed, figures. You can pose them in all kind of crazy, poses. Most of them come with like extra hands, different hands with, different gestures and heads and faces and stuff like that. Really cool line. I really enjoy a lot of what they put out. And, I have, a few of my own. I remember when Ten Shinhan first came out, and he was like very expensive, man. Price wise, they usually range from anywhere from $40 to $80, somewhere in between, depending on how big they are in size and then how rare they might be. But I remember, finding out about Tien Shinhan and losing my shit because he's one of my favorite characters. If you guys don't know, most of you do who listen to this podcast. But yeah, man, he was like $80. So my girl, bought him for my birthday, and I was so happy, man. But yeah, they're dope. They have a dope line, and there were some new announcements for 2019 that I'm sure a lot of you guys might be excited to see. I know there's one that I am so hyped about, man. If you listen to this podcast, if you've listened to me, within the past, 6 months, then you probably know what character I'm about to talk about. But if not, I will definitely let you guys know in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Now, the list is pretty nice, man. They got a nice little list here. Let's start with the characters. 2019 release. We have Super Boo. Now, I know there's a lot of Super Boo fans out here in these anime streets, these Dragon Ball streets, and I cannot lie, that motherfucker looks pretty good. They look like they've done a great job on him, the expressions and everything like that. Also, there's Mr. Satan. Yeah, man. Hercule, if you will. He's going to be coming out in 2019. Also, we have Gogeta. I'm sure there's a lot of Gogeta fans who want to see this figure, man. The last time we saw Gogeta was in, I think, movie 13, the Fusion movie. And we're going to be seeing him very soon again for the second time. So I'm not going to say any more. But yeah, Gogeta will be coming out. Also, we have Bulma, who just was recently released not too long ago. Early stage Bulma, young Bulma, when she was traveling out when Goku was a kid. I really dig that one, man. I think I'm gonna add that one to the collection. She needs to be with my Vegeta, Super Vegeta, because I mean, this is future wife, man. But I always dug that version of Bulma. I thought it was dope. But yeah, also the Great Saiyaman, he's also coming out. And never was a really big Great Saiyaman fan, thought the suit was just, whatever. But there are some Great Saiyaman fans out there, so they should get some enjoyment out of this one as well, 2019. And then there's Android 21 from the Dragon Ball Fighters video game. I thought this was pretty cool, that they took a character from the game, and it makes me wonder if, eventually Toriyama may add, her to the lore or, to the canon of, the future of the series. Who knows, man? But it's also cool that she's being added to the list. Did I miss anybody? Oh yeah, there's one fucking more person. Man, when I saw this, I just lost my mind, man. Jiren, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jiren is coming in 2019. I cannot wait. If you check my Instagram, it's there. He's there. You can check out the pics. You can also check it out on Twitter. Follow me at Studio MacGyver. But yeah, man, it looks awesome. They really did it justice because they've done so many figures that I'm not gonna lie. I'm keeping it real. They've dropped the ball on a few. They're not all perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of them, are damn near close. They really did a great job on Tien Shinhan, I feel, with the new body molds and everything like that. And then looking at Jiren, man, he looks amazing. I think they captured him perfectly from the size of his body and, the movements and everything. So he's going to be able to move and do everything that, you've seen him do on the show. And I just can't wait. Jiren is my favorite Dragon Ball Super character. And I was always wondering if they were going to add him to the SH Figuarts line. And now that they are going to, man, it just made my fucking day. As sick as I am, I found this shit out and I was like, yo, I'm hyped. So gonna add him to the collection when it comes out. I can't wait to pre-order because I'll definitely be doing that. I think he's gonna go very, very fast. And some of these other characters too, man. I mean, I see Mr. Satan doing well. I see Gogeta. I mean, they got some cool ones, man. Super Boo. So yeah, man, look out for those. You guys can check those out. Just Google SH Figuarts 2019 Dragon Ball and then see what pops up. You're going to get all the love and you'll be able to find out everything you need to on these upcoming figures. But I wanted to let you guys know about that, and let's move on, shall we? Next, I want to talk about pretty much what's been going on at the what took place at the Video Game Awards. It was about 3 hours long, man, and everything that I saw, there were some bright spots throughout the night. I thought some things were gonna happen, but that didn't happen. I thought that there were gonna be some announcements that maybe we might get some confirmation on, but it's all good. We still got some good things out of this. And let me start off with the Game of the Year and the Fighter of the Year, because those are, two of the ones that I was looking for. Now, me and some friends had a, powwow, and we all voted, between ourselves of who we thought, was going to win, Game of the Year and Fighter of the Year. Now, I'm just going to go out and tell you guys, Fighter of the Year, if you haven't heard, which most of you guys should have, Dragon Ball Fighters, man, hands down. Took it, won it. That's the one we voted on. That's the one I thought was going to win. And the last and final one was the Game of the Year, which everybody was looking for. And I had God of War winning it. I had God of War as my Game of the Year. And it won Game of the Year, man. I mean, that game is fucking amazing. If you guys have not played God of War, you need to check it out, man. sometime in your life. I mean, it could be 5 years down the line or whatever. If you don't have a PS4, wait till, you can get them for $100 or whatever to their, but you have to play this game. It's it's a must play. It's definitely a video game bucket list for sure. But I was pleased with those results, man. They also won a couple other awards. I want to say Best Action Adventure, I think they won, and a couple other ones, man. I think all in all, they won 3 to 4 different awards. Red Dead Redemption won some too, but, it didn't win Game of the Year. And I'm going to get on Red Dead Redemption later. I'm going to talk about that, the online thing, what's been going on. There's a lot of whispers out here in these video game streets about this title, especially, talking about the online portion of it. And I'm definitely going to tackle it, guys, because I've touched it, I've played it, and, I'm going to tell you how it played with my emotions. Now, I don't know how it made you guys feel, but that's how it made me feel, and I'm going to get to that later. But some of the games that caught my eye at this ceremony that they had recently, Video Game Awards, was I'm just going to go down the list and tell you what piqued my interest. Far Cry New Dawn. The last Far Cry game I played was, I think, Far Cry Primal, I think. They're putting those games out. They're kicking a lot of Far Cry games out, man. They seem to be pretty good, pretty popular. I haven't had a chance to play the last Far Cry game. I will definitely pick that up when the price, goes down to bargain bin or whatever, as a game that, I'll add to the list of other forgotten games or games that, I just didn't have the money to get at the time or just didn't have time to play. So I'll definitely be looking forward to playing that. But this one really, the story and the way that it was told, it really piqued my interest though. All we really got was, some sort of post-apocalyptic, I guess, time that the game takes place in, and the leaders are these 2 twin sisters. They're very sadistic and crazy. I advise anybody to check out the trailer if you have not seen it, but definitely piqued my interest, man. Not too much was shown on it, just a quick little trailer, but I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I think that it deserves to be watched. So check that one out. Also, I want to talk about The Outer Worlds, a game by Obsidian. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Obsidian, they are responsible for Fallout, the Fallout series. Most notably Fallout New Vegas, which is my favorite Fallout game out of all of them. And it looks pretty good, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not, there's a couple things that I really one main thing that I really wasn't pleased with, but I'll get into that. The graphics, the graphics are very nice. It's kind of like their own Obsidian's own thing. It's like set in a sci-fi kind of world. It's a third person game. I'm sorry, it's a first person game. That's my that's my issue with the title. It's a first person and it is not third. Now, keep in mind that the game is nowhere close to being, released yet. So some of these things could change, and you would think that if Obsidian is doing this and they did, the Fallout thing, that they would eventually add the third person to this, because, mostly all their games, they allow you to look at third and first person. And there's a lot of customization on your character. And they say that, well, right now, currently, you're not going to be able to play in third person, but you can, look at your character on the, I guess the item screen and when you're doing cutscenes and stuff like that. But, if a game that has a lot of customization, I mean, I would prefer to be in third person, because I would like to see everything that I'm customizing, not just at a pause screen or at an inventory select screen or whatever. It's just not me. That's just how I feel about it. You guys may feel differently, but I think most companies who are putting out a lot of these games, I think that option, that third person option, is pretty cool and should be added, man. That just gives the player that much more freedom. And that's a big difference from selling a game or not selling a game when you're looking at certain gamers. I mean, I know it. I can speak for that. There are certain games that I did not want to play because it was only in first person. I don't know, man. I just love third person games, but that's just me. But it looks pretty good, guys. You should check it out. It's called The Outer Worlds. So it looks pretty cool, man. Another one called Dauntless. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's another title. Don't know too much about that, but it seemed like it was pretty cool. Another game The Last Campfire. It looked pretty good, man. It reminded me of, something like not in the same family tree as like a Team Eco game, Gen Design game. Those developers are responsible for making games like Eco, Shadows of the Colossus, The Last Guardian. It kind of had that feel to it, but the graphics and everything was more of like a cartoony, kind of Disney feel to it. I don't know. It was kind of dark too in its own way. I don't know, man. Some of these games are really hard to describe, and you'd have to check them out for yourself. And that's one that, I definitely recommend you guys check out. The game, once again, is called The Last Campfire. All right. The next one is called The Pathless. This game is one that really caught my attention, man. Beautiful game. It kind of reminds me of, what is a game that I can think of? I can't think of a game right now. All I can tell you that the game is it looks very original. It looks very beautiful. It takes place in some forest, and it looks to be an adventure game of some sort. They showed you, which I think is a female antagonist, and then there's also I want to say it's a hawk or an eagle or some sort of bird. It looks amazing to me, though. It's something that definitely piqued my interest, and you guys should definitely check out. The game is called Pathless. Okay, here's one that kind of just caught me off guard. Stranger Things, the game, and Stranger Things, and it's a retro style game, and it makes perfect sense to be a retro style game because it takes place in a retro style world. It's back in the 80s, and all of those 16-bit, 8-bit graphics. And it's supposedly supposed to take place, around Stranger Things season 3. So I'm assuming that it's going to drop after Stranger Things season 3 drops, which if you have not seen Stranger Things on Netflix, excuse me, I can't even breathe right now. But if you haven't seen it, you need to definitely check it out. It's an awesome series. But yeah, the game caught my attention. I loved the graphical art style, the retro type of style that it presented. And, it's just something that I think that I would enjoy, and a lot of you guys might as well. So yeah, check that out too as well. Here's another game. Man, this fucked me up because it's an exclusive game for the Nintendo Switch. And this is a game that I've played, previous titles of this. I remember sinking hours and hours into this with friends and family. The game is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yes, they have a Nintendo Switch exclusive coming out, man, and it looks pretty fucking good. It kind of has a, I don't know, kind of has a cell phone game kind of feel to it, in a good way. It reminds me of like if it came out for a cell phone, and I was like, well, damn, if I just had a controller, I would love to play this, and that's pretty much what it looked like. I played the fuck out of the first two and loved them. Loved them both, and I think I still have one of them on my PSP. But yeah, and thoroughly enjoy those games. I'm looking forward to what they're going to add, the characters or whatnot, which will be added. And one thing that I loved about that game and those games was that they gave you variations with everybody. So if you had Hulk, you had all kind of variations of the Hulk, Spider-Man, all kind of different costumes and stuff, and so on and so forth for each character. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm I want to see when this is going to be ready. So that's another game. Now, the last game that I want to bring up is a game that, man, a lot of people have been talking about. There's been whispers in the streets, and now we've got confirmation, man. Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, man, and it was really cool the way that they brought that out. They had the makers of the game, NetherRealm Studios, come up and, announce nominees for another game. And as he was announcing it, all of a sudden everything went dark, and then you saw fucking Scorpion's his fucking hook and chain, whatever, come out of the screen. It was nice, man. Really good trailer, really cool trailer, about 2.5-minute trailer, and man, it gets you really crunk, and ready for Mortal Kombat. So they're also gonna have like basically the same thing that they had in the Injustice 2 game, where basically, you can kind of kit out your fighter the way you want to kit him out. So there's no two Scorpions that will look the same, and so on and so forth. That's the thing I love. The customization of that was dope. I have that game. I just haven't been playing it. But looking forward to this one. This might be one I might have to get back into, man. Yeah, for real. And that's pretty much, my take, a quick little rundown on what I saw, what I enjoyed from the Video Game Awards. There's some other things that happened there, but, it didn't really interest me. And I just wanted to focus on the things that I was into and interested in. And that's why I decided to, that's what I decided to talk about. The last thing I want to talk about on this podcast is Red Dead Redemption Online. There's been a lot of things happening out here in these streets. It's only been a few days. But, what am I trying to say? It's been about a week, a little over a week. What am I trying to say? I thought it would be better. I understand that it is a beta. I understand that there's things that need to be done. A lot of things that happened on this, that are happening on this beta, Rockstar is listening, to a certain extent. When it first came out, the currency, the way that was set up was very, very, it was not good, man. Everything was high priced, overpriced. And, you got some certain game modes, which were okay, but I don't know, man. I bought Red Dead Redemption for the story mode of the game. The online mode to me was just an added, something added, to it. I didn't plan on spending a whole lot of time on online, but I was excited to get with some friends and get out there in those Red Dead Redemption streets. And it just I don't know, man. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And apparently, there's a lot of people out here that are echoing those sentiments. So I just had to be honest with myself. I had to look at myself in the mirror, truly look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, how do you feel about this online mode in this game? And I'm not, it was okay. And that's at the best. You know what I mean? You play it for, a couple hours or whatever. And then it just kind of, that's as long as I could play it. And that's being pretty generous. Because, they're trollers. You can't really, right now there's no real passive mode. So, you can be trolled all night long, like Lionel Richie, if they, so choose to do so. And half the time I'm fighting off, trollers. I'm fighting off trolls, just trying to go, fish or trying to go hunt and do my own thing. You know what I mean? So that's part of the issue. Like I said, like I said before, man, I know it's a beta. I know that things are going to change. They've already, changed some things up. They dropped the prices down on some stuff. They've even given, a lot of the players, some gold bars for future use for, buying other things. But I just have an issue with that, man. I think that, these microtransactions, man, in games are really starting to show their ugly side. I really do, man. And it's like, even a company who is synonymous for excellence, which is, Rockstar Games. Nobody can hide from this. It's not, you can't doctor it up and tell me it's pretty. You know what I mean? Because when you take off the dress and, you remove the shirt and everything like that, then the fat is exposed. The everything is there. And it's not a good thing, man. This is just my opinion. I'm not speaking for the masses here. I'm just simply saying, as my personal opinion, as a gamer, somebody who loves games and has a podcast about games, and that's just my experience right now. And I've spoken to people who feel the same way in my circle, and I've heard other people who feel the same way. It's just something needs to be done with this microtransaction shit. These gold bars and all this other stuff, man. Now the game itself, the story in itself, I'm still playing that purposely. I dragged it out on purpose so I can enjoy that. I had a lot of fun on the story mode, the portion of the game. Still am. And, I just wanted to draw that out. I don't want to just, hurry up and finish the story. I want to take my time with it. So, that's what I'm doing there. But when you're used to playing it like that, you're playing the story, you got all these guns and all this shit. I mean, my fucking ammo is just OP as fuck. I got everything I need. I got sawed off. I got a fucking extended, shotgun, everything. And then when you come to online and you're bare bones, I mean, $400 for, a fucking, you know, sawed off shotgun and shit like that. Like, I mean, it's just not worth it, man. It's not worth what they're giving you, to get the little bit of money that it's just not. It's a grind fest if you, don't buy anything. And they designed it that way so that people will break down and say, fuck it, I'm going to buy some gold bars and I'm going to, buy this, said gun or said outfit or whatever. And it sucks, man. Especially in the beta right now. Now, if you fast forward 2 years where, now you can buy homes and houses and they've added, who knows what Rockstar has up their sleeve. I mean, I still have hope that they'll, turn that corner, but, I don't know. The longer that this happens, the more that it's drawn out. I mean, I can see, people with the pitchforks outside of, Rockstar in a matter of weeks. If this continues the way that this is going, especially when they launch the actual online mode of the game. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be buying any gold bars with real cash. I'm just not, because to me, it's not enough to do out there in that world anyway. Like I said, there's not even a passive mode yet. So I'm just not into it, man, like I thought I would be. And it hurts me to say that. But the good thing, the light at the end of that tunnel, is that the game itself, the story mode, is excellent. It's fabulous. If you haven't played that, definitely recommend that. But, the online mode is definitely an acquired taste, especially right now in the beta, so don't get your hopes up if you haven't played it yet and you're looking to play it. I think that's what happened. At least with me, I think that I got too excited and, I just thought that it was going to be a lot like the story, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? And like I said, rightfully so, it's still in the beta mode, but still, I haven't played it in a while. So trust me, if it's good, I'll play it. You know what I mean? But word to the wise and word to people out there, man, developers and stuff, man, this microtransaction shit, it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. Or if you're going to entertain us with this shit, this tomfoolery, then you need to at least make it worth our while. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to, make us buy shit and price weapons and price all these things, make it fucking reasonable. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Just make it reasonable. I don't want to have to play, 40 some odd hours just to get enough money to buy a handgun. It's not enough variety right now to keep me involved in trying to do that. And it's not worth it right now. Now, who knows, what'll happen in the future. They could be adding more weapons. They could add more things. But until then, I'm just talking about currently right now, as I'm standing here talking to you guys at 11:09 p.m. Okay, Sunday night, recording this podcast. So, I'm going to leave it at that, man. I mean, I don't know what else I could say, I don't know what else I could do or what I could say that's going to, make anything better right now. Like I said, I have faith in Rockstar. I will say that. And I'm not, I'm not going to just bring out the pitchfork yet on Rockstar. I'm going to give them a chance because they deserve a right to, for us to hear them out, in my opinion, because they've given us lots and lots of, dope titles in the past. And, I want to give them a little bit more time before, you start pulling out the pitchforks, but it's not looking good though. That's all I'm going to say as far as a currency, situation is looking, unless they really change some other things and, make some real changes. So we'll see. Only time will tell. And, the gaming community is very competitive out here. You know what I mean? So, I'm telling you right now, with games like The Division on the way and, Anthem, it's going to be really hard to keep, gamers, on your servers if you're doing this type of stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of grateful that we're where we're at right now because, excuse me, if, these developers are making bad moves and bad decisions, man, we're starting to call them on all their shit. And as a result of that, things change. Now, I'm not saying that Rockstar is innocent by any stretch of the imagination, because I think that, that guy in that, suit and tie up at the very top, was telling everybody, look, put this shit out here and let's see if they budge. Let's see what happens. We are Rockstar. Let's see if they eat this shit. If they eat it, I'm just not going to say anything. But as soon as they put it out there, man, everybody came out. Everybody was voicing their opinions. The content creators started to, talk, and videos started to flow. And then they knew right then and there, oh shit, we okay, let's change this shit. Let's drop some prices. And that's, I like that aspect of it as a gamer. I'm talking about anything else outside of gaming, but this here is, cool on the plus side as a gamer. Okay, same thing in anime. I recently heard that, the guy who, I can't remember his name, but he is responsible for, the Castlevania series, which it seems like every time I try to get ready to watch Castlevania on Netflix, something happens and I end up going with something else. Like right now, I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Really enjoying myself, guys. It's really nice, a nice series. Did not see that one coming, but yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now. But I want to eventually get to Castlevania, but the same guy who's responsible for doing that on Netflix is talking about going and trying to do some Berserk stuff, saying that he would love to, love to try to do something like that with Berserk and take it back to the 2D drawing, not the CGI and everything, what everybody seems to be pissing on. I didn't have a big problem with the CGI, I still enjoyed it. Maybe it's just because I'm biased towards Berserk and I love Berserk. It's one of my top 3 anime of all time under Dragonball and Naruto. So, I don't know. That's just me. But hey, man, I want to see Berserk. We've been, it should have been out. But like I said, the company who was doing the adaptation, they're not doing it anymore. I think it's Madhouse Studios. So I don't know, man. I hope that, this happens or something close to this happens, but we'll see. I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to keep it together for you guys. But man, I guess what I want to say is, it was overall, Red Dead, it did what it was supposed to do, for the most part, for me. And that was, put out an excellent story, an excellent experience for a single player open world game. The online is just extra. It's kind of like a GoFundMe, for these guys, if you will, which is crazy because they sold so many copies of this game. They're not hurting for money. They're good. They should be good. They should have enough money off of the sales of the game, the single player alone. But now they want to fucking, do these microtransactions, and it's a lot of greed involved, and that's what it feels like. But every game is not meant to have, this type of setup. Every game is not meant to have like these microtransactions, stuff like that. And Red Dead doesn't strike me as one of these games. You know what I mean? It's not like, in the modern age where, Grand Theft Auto 5 is it's more of a futuristic type thing, cars and all kinds of guns and all these other things. It's not going to be as deep in this type of world. So I don't know if you're going to get the same fulfillment out of it, man. And that's what I feel when I play online. You can get some friends together. You can have, an hour or two of fun. And after that, it kind of gets stale. And like I said, just watch out because there's a lot of stuff coming first quarter, 2019. I'm very excited for it. And, man, yeah. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. That's pretty much the podcast, this week. Like I said, I've tried so hard to hold everything down with this, ongoing flu. My head is killing me right now. My body's aching all over. It's very fucking, it's terrible right now. I feel like shit. And I'm sorry that I sound this way. And I thank you guys for listening. And I really thank you guys for bearing with me through this podcast because it has been crazy. I've been sick before and I've recorded podcasts before, but man, this is probably one of the worst, one of the more, tedious episodes I've had to record because of it. But, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna get my ass up out of here and try to get well. But before I go, I want to let you guys know, if you want to get a hold of me, for the new listeners, people who haven't heard this before, you can reach me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can reach me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79, the Facebook page at Studio MacGyver as well. Also, check out the YouTube channel, man, Studio MacGyver TV. You can also catch this podcast there every week. You can check out my gameplay videos and just discussions that I have about games and anime. And, you know, just a guy who loves anime and games, man. That's it. You know what I mean? And if you want merch, if you are, you know, into merch like hats and, you know, hoodies and things of that nature and cups and stuff, you know, that are revolved around, you know, the world of nerd culture and gaming and anime and stuff like that, then you should check out Beautiful Nerds. That's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. And you guys should check that out. Right now, the website is under construction. I had to close it for a brief minute because I'm adding some new stuff. But it will be back up this week, so bear with me, guys. But yes, definitely check that stuff out, man. Got some pretty cool shit, man. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to get out of here. I want to say one last thing. I just want to tell you guys that I really, really appreciate the interactions that I've been getting, and the people who have been, you know, shouting out to me and talking to me, and, you know, let me know how they like the show. And I'm so appreciative. I'm so happy that you guys enjoy, you know, this podcast, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I love you guys, man. And if you want to be a guest on the show, you should definitely hit me up. Also, you should inbox me on Twitter, you know, at Studio MacGyver, or Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. Holler at me, man. I would be more than happy to have some of you guys on the show to talk about, you know, maybe your favorite anime, maybe your favorite game, what you're playing right now, you know, what you think about, you know, 2019 as far as games and anime is concerned. You know, I would love to do that, man. You know what I mean? And I'm going to try to do that more often. I'm going to have more guests on the show. Just regular people, man, who love what I love. And I dig that. I'm trying to build a community with, you know, a community of people that, you know, of nerds, man, people who love this type of stuff, who nerd out every night like I do and enjoy this culture. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.